Hi guys, and welcome to this analysis video of one of the most successful short stories in the modern history, and it's called Vanka, written by Anton Chekhov. One or actually some of the most important information that we should know before starting our analysis of this story, that Anton Chekhov was born in 1860, and he actually did write this story at 1886, so basically at the age of 26 years old. Also worth mentioning that Anton Chekhov was a certified or qualified physician, and he actually did study a lot in philosophy, and almost had his own philosophy about this life, and that actually had a deep effect in his writings, whether it was short stories or also plays as well. We are going to analyze this story, mentioning the themes and the style of writing. I'm actually not gonna read the story, but I'm gonna include it certainly in the description below for anyone who is interested in reading it. So, starting with the themes, we are going to find that there is actually 5 to 6 main themes, including poverty, including lack of education, and so on for this story. But let's really start with the style of writing. Uh, we are going to notice like three main aspects, or three main features of the style of writing of this story, and that includes what I personally call the detailed or the briefly detailed style, because we can find that some of the characters may have not been mentioned at all, including Vanka's father. We don't really know what he went through, how was he like, how he died, and all this stuff, because he wasn't mentioned at all. But we can also find that some of the characters that were mentioned in the story, uh, actually some of them were mentioned in a very brief way, but um, actually, although that there wasn't a lot of information that was told about these characters, but the information that were already told, um, that helped us to actually form an imaginary pictures about the behavior, and even the physical appearance of some of these characters. So if we're gonna look about on how actually Anton Chekhov briefly took some few lines to describe Vanka's grandfather and his habits, as he was um, a um, a 65 years uh, old man that was always effective and was smiling and cheery, and all this stuff actually was fair enough to help us have a all in all, or an imaginary picture about this character, about Vanka's father. Also, we can also find that he mentioned some other characters very briefly, including Vanka's mother, because it wasn't mentioned. I think more than one or two times in the story. Also, there was Vanka's favorite, the one of the good one of the good people in Vanka's life. Actually, Olga, the house of the lady that Vanka's mother was working in, who told Vanka to write and to read and write and count to 100, and actually to dance, and always used to be very kind to him, and basically give him some sweets and candies all the way. So that's what I meant there by briefly detailed stories, because um, along the way, as we go through the story, we find that he actually did tell us some details about some of the characters and some of the incidents during the story, but he actually left a lot of questions untold, a lot of information untold and not mentioned at all. To just because he was famous for letting his readers think and expect what's coming next, and not giving all the emotions, not giving all the information in his stories and about his characters. So that was one of the main features about Anton Chekhov is as a writer. Also, if we are going to start with analyzing the story from from the theme side, we can find, as I said, 5 or 6 main themes. That one, or the first one that we are going to cover, is actually the poverty, because from the very first line we're gonna notice poverty, because uh, Vanka was sent to work or to be an apprentice at a very young age, and although his grandfather was alive and working, but he sent him to a shoemaker to be an apprentice, and to learn some craft for no actually obvious reason. But all in all, it was the case for me for the first thing. Also, the second thing that we are going to see in or to notice in this story is the lack of education, because as we go along the way, we find something that we can include in both of the themes of or both of the aspects that Anton Chekhov actually did manage in keeping the child's tone, or the child's tune of the of Vanka while writing the whole story. That or actually for the second theme, as the lack of education, because if we're gonna look at it from this perspective, we can find that Vanka used actually no advanced language at all. What I mean by this, actually, not really effective um, adjectives or phrases or something that can most likely move his grandfather's emotions towards him and to come and rescue him from the desperate life that he was living. Um, Instead, he used a very basic language, including "My life is like hell. My life is worse than any dog you can you should come and take me from here or I shall die. That is for me can be included in both one of the aspects of the style of writing, which is the child, which is Anton Chekhov actually managed in keeping the child stone in the whole story, or it can be included in the theme as a lack of education. Also, one obvious hint about the lack of education that actually Vanka had no formal education. He was only told by Olga, the house lady of the house that his mother was working on, who taught him to read and write actually. So he didn't go to school as well. And also, we can find this in Vanka didn't manage to write the proper address for the destination where he was sending his letter. So that was the second, or basically the second theme, including or beside the poverty. Also, we can look at this story from two sides. We can look at this story from the side of maybe he is only writing a story about telling us about a young kid, and that's not really true. Because the for me the most or the nearest scenario of this story is that he was writing actually a message to the society. Because if we're gonna look along the way, we can find that he actually represented some of Russia's most common problems. That was included child children working at a very young age, also the lack of education, also the theme number 3, which is the child abuse. Vanka was getting punished and intimidated from many characters, or from many of the people around him, including his master and mistress, and the senior apprentices. Him being hit and punished by his master, hit by a fish, by his mistress, actually forced to steal the master's cucumbers, and getting hit and punished by his master, and also getting the senior apprentices laughing and making fun of him also. That's for me is theme number 3, the child abuse. Theme number 4 is the injustice or the non-solidarity, if we are going to consider this as an entire message to society. We can actually find this out because at the part where Vanka was describing Russia, was describing Moscow. So he said that it's a very big place, maybe with a lot of villages and big houses. The dogs are mostly intelligent and don't bite anyone, something like that. And it was filled with rich people, which was mentioned also. So if we're gonna look at this from an ordinary perspective, we can say yes, he is only describing Moscow, and that's something that doesn't gather attention. But if we're gonna look at it as a message to society, we can maybe find that he is saying, I'm sure that we have enough resources and enough money to uh, as a as a state or as a country to ensure uh, a happy and comfortable life for all of our people. But actually, the higher classes being greedy um, and the poor people wasn't given enough money to cover their needs is actually the main thing that is preventing us from doing so. So that is actually possibly mentioning the non-solidarity and the injustice uh, in the Russian society at that time. But if you're not really convinced about this one, we can also add it at the themes in theme number or at the style of writing also uh, at the style of writing number 3, which is the keeping the child sound, because he actually described Moscow from a child's point of view, because he said, yeah, that it's a big city, yeah, just like a very very superficial description. Like Moscow is a very big city. They have a lot of big houses. Maybe the lights are all the way in the streets, possibly, and also they that they have no sheep, like Vanka possibly or mostly had in his village, and there was places to sell fresh fish and something like that. While also mostly Vanka's village only had people just getting their fish directly from the water and not buying it. Maybe that's another scenario. Also, as theme number 4 or 5 actually is the hopeful part in this story is um, possibly he intended to say that maybe my message will never reach its proper destination when Vanka didn't manage to write the address correctly, but he possibly may have intended to deliver a message that whatever happens, my message will certainly reach some people that will make a change and rescue those young children from the agony and the crucial life they are living, whatever the case is. And also, one more thing that should support the hope theme in this story is, despite of the presence of many bad people in Vanka's life, his master, his mistress, the senior apprentices, and for me, possibly his grandfather, who actually abandoned him and left him for no for no logical reason, for a cruel person like that showmaker Aliakin, or whatever was his name, which possibly can be disputed by someone that maybe his grandfather felt that he is getting older and might not be able to protect Vanka or to make him live the life that he should live. So it's better to send him to live with someone else and learn a craft that might help him in the future. And that's a perspective, but personally, that doesn't really convince me. Okay, then I think that's enough for now, and that's enough, including for the themes and the style of writing. What we are going to do now is to actually summarize what we already said, also including some final comments. So basically, for me, this story is was written in a very clever way, because we had a lot of untold answers, a lot of untold answers, a lot of unmentioned information at all, including Anton Chekhov never mentioning Vanka's father, who he is, or how he died, or even some details about his physical appearance and so on. So that's one thing. And also something that I'm not very convinced about and have been mentioned a lot, which is the open ending. I don't think it's an open ending at all, because mostly this letter would never reach its proper destination, because he didn't even manage to write the name of his village or the address. So if a postman is gonna look at it, he is going to say, like, "Are you kidding me?" And he is possibly going to throw it in a garbage can. So that's not a thing that's really doing it for me. Also, one final thing is we have mentioned themes um, like poverty, like non-solidarity and injustice in the society, like lack of education. Also, the what's very important to mention is the contradiction between that Aliak and his family was actually mostly a religious family who or which was going actually to the church on a regular basis, possibly, and all the despite of all this, they didn't follow the real teachings of their religion, and actually kept punishing Vanka and intimidating him for no reason. So that's another thing that can be added under the themes section. And also for the style of writing, we can conclude it the in some point, including the indirect messages to the Russian society, as we said, the untold answers, and unmentioned. So if you guys like this video and actually feel it's any good and like this content, so please let me know what you think by liking the video and commenting below, and I might see you in further analysis videos in the future. So thank you so much for taking the time to listen, and just see you later.